Hey, Father Miller here. Welcome back to the Nerd Father. Happy to have Ian, who I've streamed with, and Dan. I have not seen you in forever. Dan from the Spacebook.
Good to see you too, Father Chris.
Good to see
How are
you.
things?
Amazing.
You're looking well. You've gone feral though. You've gone feral.
Well, they dropped the. We had a facial hair ban in our diocese up until February. So when that got lifted, I started growing this.
It's a good move.
I see you got some shelves behind you, Dan.
I have. That's why I'm a little late. I've been sweating, everybody. I'm not used to manual labour. I'm an artist.
Yeah. Well, it's looking good, mate. All you need is one on the other side. You'll be fine.
yes. It's we're nearly there. It's the rest of it's coming together. I'm just sort of So it's all looking good.
Cool.
Hello. Yes. So you got your TARDIS behind you as well, Ian. Yeah. It's good to see you both. It's good to see you.
Yeah, my TARDIS right over there.
His one's small. My one's big. It's bigger now. Oh, cool! I haven't got a Dalek though. I've got a Stormtrooper. He's always there now. The old Stormtrooper. And I've got Stormtrooper bed sheets. If you can just see it there, Stormtrooper bed sheets right there. You see them?
Yeah, the old Clone Troopers, fantastic. Yes, what are we talking about, guys? What's been going on?
I mean, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about Doctor Who. There's the She-Hulk trailer. Ian just told me he's coming to Dallas next month for the Gary's meetup.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be there too. So,
wow. Yeah. Well, I obviously Bon Voyage. I hope it's a good one. I have seen the poster. It's all the stuff that Gary puts out, all the nerdrotic stuff is beautifully illustrated. I love all that stuff.
So okay, I'm the non-Brit on the panel. Tell me about this new Rose.
I don't know anything about her.
It's a character called Rose in a show called Doctor Who. Is that
it's not a recasting of Rose Tyler?
No, it's a completely new character played by a completely new actress for the 60th anniversary, which may or may not be. I've heard some things about that in the last couple of days, and I don't know if to put them out there in the world or not, because I don't know how many people will be that interested in what I found out. But yeah, we don't know what form that special is going to take yet, but there will be a character called Rose, and it's all been leaked, hasn't it? It's all been leaked, so we know exactly who she is, who she's related to, and why.
So we have to refer to him as a she now. Is that?
The way I view it, because obviously this is a trans actress, isn't it, called Yasmin Finney, I think it is, Yasmin Finney. If you're watching Yasmin, and I've got that wrong, sorry. Yes, it's an actress called Yasmin Finney. I doubt
she's watching my channel.
You never know. I thought that several times. You'd be amazed who watches YouTube. So Yasmin Finney's playing this Rose. Who knows what the surname's going to be? But yeah. So I'd never seen the actress before. People tell me that she's great in other things. What was that show called? Heartstopper, apparently, which is law. I think that's pretty much her only. No, she's got 2 credits. Sorry, she's got 2 credits. And there's a movie coming out as well later this year. So yeah, I've no idea.
I just want Doctor Who to be good.
Yes, so do I. I have every reason to be optimistic at the moment, I feel. I mean, obviously, the next full series is still the best part of 2 years away, which the BBC tries to. They haven't actually said that, but it is. It's nearly 2 years until the first proper series that starts shooting.
The other thing, too, is how much more damage will Jodie do on the way out?
I'm afraid that last special is going to be probably maximum. However long
problematic,
it's going to be horrendous, everybody. And I think that if you're not drinking by when you start watching, you almost certainly will be midway through.
You see, the thing is, over here, if I log into the iPlayer, it's 1 p.m. over here, which, even though it's only 1 p.m., I probably will have to drink.
If you you know that if there's anything guaranteed to keep you up at night, it's Jodie Whittaker playing Doctor Who.
Let him keep you up. Didn't keep you up. You fall asleep halfway watching it. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to watch the ending bit where she transforms into, Lord knows if she's going to transform into what's his name? I can't remember. I can't pronounce his name.
No, I can't pronounce it.
Uti. No. How do you pronounce it again?
It sounds like Cutie, doesn't it?
Shooty. I don't know if she's going to actually, because he wouldn't mind, obviously. So when he changes, wouldn't it? So it'll be, hopefully he'll be, when she changes, he'll be there. Or she might change and it might cut to black. I don't know what they're going to do.
Initially, I heard that she was going to regenerate into and it was going to fade to black, as they used to say in old Hollywood. But now I'm hearing rumours that she might not. Somebody with a better quiff than mine, may actually be in the Centenary special after all. So who knows?
Hopefully, it'll be a better regeneration than Colin Baker.
Hold on. So she's not going to change into David Tennant, is she?
It's possible.
That's weird. What? So David Tennant has to wear her clothes?
Did he say that? It's possible. But bear in mind that in the clips that we've seen of the Centenary special, Jodie Whittaker is wearing the orange space suit that we've seen Capaldi's Doctor wear and the 11th Doctor and Tennant's Doctor. So that could be a way of not whichever actor's going to be there stood in her place when she does, after she bursts into flames. It could be a good way of saving them the indignity of having to wear that monstrosity.
How would that work? Would Tennant be like the 14th Doctor and then the next one will be the 15th?
Yeah.
No, so hold on. So
and of course, you could also say we're already on 14 if you count Tennant's regeneration.
You know what?
I think the numbering is shot to.
If that happens, I reckon the first line that's going to come out of David Tennant's mouth is going to be what? That's probably going to be.
I think you could be right.
Yeah. What? He's probably going to say that.
I'd put money on that being his first.
Yeah, but I don't know. By looking at some of the pictures in Camden, in fact, I had a friend that was down in Camden, and he phoned me saying that he couldn't even see anything. There was too many people there. It was ridiculous. They were trying to tell. Somebody came out and were trying to tell the crowd to calm down because they were filming because of sound and stuff, but they couldn't. The crowd were too excited, whatever. But after looking at the pictures, I thought to myself, "Wait a moment, is this the alternative universe?" Because he's dressed differently and things are different. I don't know.
I think we can piece it together. We can piece a lot of it together from what's going on there. The fact that Jodie's TARDIS is there is an indicator to me of where things are.
And this is for the special next year.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think that Jodie's going to turn into David Tennant,
yes.
And then David Tennant is going to go what, and then he's going to decide to visit. What's her name?
This is where things get a little shaky because we don't know the format of the 60th anniversary. It could be a feature length episode again, or it could be 2 or 3 specials spread out over a week or even over a couple of months. They may want to build up to something at Christmas. I'm hearing lots of things. I've been reached out to by somebody who seems to be. They tell me they're from Bad Wolf, but I'm not going to say any of the things that they've told me. It's because I'm still not quite sure if they're who they say they are. But obviously everywhere springs a leak eventually. Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard so far, Camden this week, Tennant was there for 2 days, and then he did a night shoot last night. He was there for about 3 hours till about 3 a.m. And now they're done. I think they're done in Camden, and this is just one portion, obviously, of the special. And they were shooting scenes that will go all the way through the thing. So
I don't remember this much news about the 50th when they were filming that. I mean, it just seems like we're hearing a whole lot about the 60th.
No, I mean, I heard a lot of news about the 50th when they were shooting and stuff. There was just as much news as the 50th, and actually slightly more than.
We had some shots of John Hurt filming with Tennant and Matt Smith in the castle, didn't we? I remember that came out. Most of the 50th was actually shot in the studio. The elements, the first parts in Trafalgar Square. I know somebody who was there during that. You can see them on the. But I think most of it was shot in a really sort of close set. I don't know whether they'll do that this time. I think that Russell T Davies is. He seems to be very confident in what he's got. He's quite happy for people to see who are there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, as I said, I hope that they're going to give us something good, and I hope that the politics is not going to be creeping in, although there is some, obviously. So I just hope that it's going to be good. That's all.
And I'm going to give it a chance. I mean,
you have to, as a Doctor Who fan.
You have to.
Give it a chance.
I mean, but it's like they've rained on my parade the last 3 seasons. It's like, I'll give it a chance, but if it's in your face wokeness stuff.
What we've got to remember, what we've got to accept is that this show that's going to start in 2024, and even the production, even the special, is, even though it's still under the same name, it's still called Doctor Who, it is a completely new production. There is nobody. The only thing that's transferred from one production team to the other is that TARDIS prop. And I was amazed to see that there. That was obviously a stipulation in Russell's script. He's obviously...
Wasn't there talk they might get rid of the TARDIS?
No, they're not going to get rid of the TARDIS.
Some fans want that. Some fans think it'd be a great way to shake it up, but they're fools, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'd be stupid if they did get rid of it. It'd be really daft.
I mean, that's the thing that drew me. I think that's the thing that first drew me into Doctor Who, was the idea of traveling in a box bigger on the inside than the outside.
Some clever stuff in Doctor Who. That
just kind of drew me in as a kid. I mean, just that.
Yeah, they'd be very stupid to lose that again. Obviously, they did lose it for a lot of the Pertwee seasons. Well,
that's because of budget, wasn't it? It's because of budget constraints, wasn't it? And they had to try and keep it at one point. But yeah, I mean, you can't lose the TARDIS. You can't lose the whole aspect of Doctor Who. As I said, the only thing I'm worried about now is the diversity going, super critical, and the same thing with everything else. Everything else that Russell T's been saying, it seems like it's heading down that road. But who knows?
He said so little. He said so little, though. And yeah, I mean, the way I view it, they've gone about making this so far. They've had one location shoot that's taken up most of the week. They knew it was going to be in public, and so they would rather. It's a complete reversal of the culture under Chris Chibnall. So they would rather be absolutely open about who they've signed, what's going on, and they knew people were going to turn up. They planned that press release on Sunday for a long time, and the one on Monday as well, because they knew that. I'm amazed they didn't announce Bernard Cribbins and Jacqueline King too. Come to think of it, but they've specifically.
And what's his name as well? Dan, the guy who played her husband, the black guy. Yeah,
I can never remember that actor's name. He used to be in The Bill, didn't he?
Yes.
No, that's from when she got married at the end of Tennant's time, right?
Yeah.
He was on a drama over here for many years, and then just had that small part in Doctor Who. So it's unfortunate that obviously it was sensational on Sunday when Tennant and Tate were confirmed, and then the next day in the evening, just as we were about to go live doing a podcast, they announced the casting of Yasmin Finney, who nobody really knows. But obviously, that's set off a klaxon right away, which, from our point of view, of people who have still got all the scar tissue, you think, it's really close for comfort, and you think, oh God, not again. But when you read the press release, it's apart from I saw a later quote from Finney herself. But the press release is more typically Russell T Davies than some great sort of flag-waving statement.
Do you think the appearance of Yaz is a one-time, or will it be part of the next season?
This character, Rose character, I think it's a one-off for the special.
Because I could live with that.
It's a supporting character, and I expect that there will be a lot of supporting characters, and we'll be told about some of them. Whoever's filming on location in a public place, like's happened this week, will be told about them. Everybody else, they will keep completely to themselves.
Well, I don't want the fun and the surprise ruined. I mean, that's the only downside so far is seeing all the pictures and I mean, I know the pictures are limited, but
I know.
It's kind of like I want to have that Baker surprise at the end of the 50th. You weren't expecting him.
I think. Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I've never been, obviously, Ian, but we've seen pictures, haven't we? The size of Bad Wolf Studio. It's big. It's considerably bigger than Rothlock was, and they could potentially keep a lot of secrets in that room.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still personally, and I've already said this, I still think the casting is bad. I don't believe in race swapping, and I don't care what anyone says. Yes, the Doctor's an alien. Yeah, but sorry, but the Doctor's, when the Doctor started, he how many reincarnations he had?
Yes,
Just because you can do it doesn't mean to say you should do it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a silly argument that you can do anything because the Doctor's an alien. I completely agree. People who were supporting the Whittaker change said that, and it's not. It was ridiculous then, and it's still ridiculous now. The Doctor isn't an alien. The Doctor, everybody, keep it down. The Doctor doesn't exist. Everybody, the Doctor is a fictional character, apparently.
What?
And his adventures get written by other human beings who get to decide these things. It's not something that comes down in a moment, in a flash of inspiration, or on a stone tablet. People make these decisions. The Doctor isn't an alien. The Doctor is a story device. He's one of the greatest fictional characters, probably of modern history, certainly of the 20th century, and probably the greatest character that's ever hailed straight from TV. So not from a book or not from radio. I don't know.
I just hope. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just
go on, Father. Go on.
Well, my thought was, I would say for like us over here, it'd be a Star Trek, the original series, because even though it was on for 3 seasons, I mean, it still has a huge impact.
Yeah,
beautiful
over here. I mean, and not even regarding like the new Trek or anything, but I mean, it still has a big impact on everybody over here.
It does mirror what's happening with Doctor Who. So in Star Trek, you had the OG original cast and series, and then you had the Next Generation that was just as good as far as I'm concerned as the original thing. Same thing with Doctor Who. You had the classic, if you can call it, and then you had New Who, which kind of, they're both their own entities, and they both connected and stuff like that. So, but what were you laughing at? But all right,
yes, the Doctor is real.
All right, okay, but yeah, so it kind of mirrors it, but it's really funny how they both mirror each other. So Klutzman basically destroyed Star Trek, as we all know. He kind of put all this stuff in it and whatever. And there's the same thing with Doctor Who. I mean, what's his name? Chibnall came along and kind of rewrote everything and made it worse. So, it's really funny how they both mirror each other.
Kind of going on Star Trek, have either of you seen the pilot for Strange New Worlds?
Don't want to know.
Yes.
It's on YouTube.
Don't want to know.
Is it on from CBS? CBS,
I don't care.
I think it's a very solid piece of Star Trek. It's well worth seeing.
It has potential. It's got really a wonderful. I mean, the only thing I didn't care for is like how the Trump riot was the start of World War III and the nuclear holocaust and all that.
Yeah,
but I think for me, what helped
that subliminal message.
What helped was never seeing Discovery. Because I couldn't get through the first 5 minutes of Discovery before I turned it off. This one I actually could enjoy, although I didn't care for the Spock intimacy scene.
Yeah, I think they're 3 episodes in now, and yes, that there's something about that. I still can't make up my mind about Ethan Peck as an actor. It's such a difficult role to recast that. But as a piece of television, as Star Trek, it was better than average. That pilot, it was serviceable, and it was fun with a small f. That first 10 minutes with Pike living in his log cabin and riding his horse with his big shaggy beard, it was wonderful.
Well, the scenery. I mean, the I don't know what the term is. Ian could probably fill. The scenery was just amazing.
Spectacular.
The way they captured it that on the film.
Yeah, it was absolutely spectacular. And the only problem that I really had, I mean, I even like the fact it was a bit. I'm going to use an English word here. It was a bit naff. The world that they went to, the establishing story was actually quite run-of-the-mill Star Trek in a way. But it was so refreshing to get a story like that after years of dross on Discovery that I thought, no, I'll take this. It's fine. I'll take it. I think that I've only seen the first one, so it's not a feature-length pilot here. That's just 50 minutes. So I've only seen the first one. But I think its weakness is sadly the cast. Well, no, not the cast. That's unfair.
Well,
it's the characters. It's the characters that are the Pike and Number One and Spock are quite well drawn. The others, it is only a pilot. I ought to be more charitable, really. But the other characters seem a little interchangeable. There's one stern-faced woman talking to another stern-faced woman, and maybe they will develop that over time. But generally, I thought it was solid.
No, I won't watch it. I've got principles. I won't watch it because it's run by Kurtzman and the gang, and also you can always tell what people are thinking by the things they do, not by what they say.
Very true.
And with you guys, you were saying about the Trump thing just now, and all that. I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of
split second.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of
there.
episodes. Captain Kirk comes in and snogs Spock. So you've only got yourself to blame if that happens. So there you go.
Like I said, it has potential. I
don't care.
Not totally there yet, but I mean, for me, the pilot was a good impression. I do have problems.
Good luck
with
to
it,
you guys. If you want to watch it,
I'm not going to subscribe to Paramount just so I could watch it.
See it now? Oh God, no! It's not. Like I say, it's hard to be too enthusiastic.
But the thing is, this is what they want you to do, right? Basically, they want you, because what they do, it's called bait. They're actually throwing bait in. You're the fish, and you're attracted to the worm on the hook, and the worm on the hook is then making it just okay. But then once it's okay and you get comfortable within that world, they're going to start throwing in stuff, a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, it's coming. Right, and I've seen it so many times with different TV shows, and I can't be asked anymore.
I think it's certainly possible. I mean,
I can't be asked.
My hope would be that people. I don't know how many episodes this first season is. My hope would be that this will attract better writers who've grown up with Star Trek, proper Star Trek, and see it as a proper Star Trek show on, and put their hands up and say, "I've always wanted to write." You know, the way you get with Doctor Who. I've always wanted to write for Star Trek. I'll write for that show.
Did you hear what Tarantino said? Tarantino was being interviewed, and it was the moment when he was thinking of actually doing a Star Trek episode. And he said he was talking to the producers and stuff, and they were all bouncing ideas, and he had this really good idea. And then one of them said to him, because he's seen the film, one of them said to him, well, they're not from the universe where Spock and the original universe. And Tarantino was like, no, I don't want to hear that. You know, look, that is ridiculous. They should be from the same universe. That should be Spock and that should be Kirk the way they are. What you're doing is something stupid. You're actually creating a different timeline, which I don't agree with. And I think that's when everything fell apart with the talks between. So I heard him, he was being interviewed on the radio, Tarantino, and that's exactly what he said. And he was hinting at the fact that's why it fell apart, because he doesn't agree with what they're doing, doesn't agree with this other timeline. He think it's complete rubbish. He think everything should be connected. And he said he actually believed that Pine and Quinton, that played Spock and Kirk, were absolutely brilliant. And he could see William Shatner in Pine, and he wanted to go forward with that kind of idea. But having the idea that it comes from a different universe, he just didn't want to know. He just kind of, everything fell apart for him. That's what he said. So I'm not quoting it too well, but there you go.
I can see why he would feel that way.
I didn't mind it, tell you the truth. When I saw I thought it was great. The JJ Star Trek.
I love those movies.
Really good. The first one,
the first and the third one. I love those two. I'm not quite so keen on the middle one, but
I didn't like the second one. I didn't like the third one. I kind of liked the second one, but then when I thought about it more, I kind of like, oh no.
That's the Khan one.
That's the Khan one, yeah. The Khan, yeah.
The thing that still irks me about the third one is when they put on the classical music and it's the Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah, that's just ridiculous.
That was just
yeah.
Well, particularly as they'd done the same thing in the first movie, they could have picked a different track.
Yeah, but you know what, right? Star Trek is not about ships flying fast and firing lasers and stuff like that and gunfights. It's not. If you look at Star Trek 6, Star Trek 3, Star Trek 2, it's all about trying to unwit the villain, isn't it? By using your head and your huge starship. So it's all about that, isn't it? You know, but these ones that he makes, I didn't mind it for the first one, Star Trek. I didn't mind it for that one because that was introducing a new audience to Star Trek. But it should have reverted back to Star Trek. Do you know what I mean? It should have, but it didn't. It just carried on being Star Wars, which is what I didn't like about it. So yeah,
there were some brilliant ideas in Star Trek Into Darkness, but it was kind of mired down with unnecessary tissue connecting it to the original lore.
The script didn't make any sense, especially the villain. He didn't make any sense in the second one. It was just stupid. What you doing, Father?
I'm looking for my books. I have some Star Trek comic books behind me.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Oh, all right.
See,
cool.
that was a great comic. I've got that exact same edition as well, the collected edition.
But then I also got.
Did I? No, I didn't. Oh no, I did. That's the one with Nero, isn't it? Yeah, I've got that.
I think so. But this one is actually the old school one, and this one was actually really good. As weird as it sounds.
Planet of the Apes.
I've heard that is absolutely brilliant, and I was going to buy it. I have no idea why I didn't.
It is, and I won't give it away. But then the what the heck one is.
Star Trek.
Oh yeah. See, I love Transformers and I love Star Trek, but to me that's pushing it too far, bringing those two together.
But I like the Star Trek and Doctor Who. I like that one with.
That one was a little.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. And the reason why I like it is because it's the idea that those two can come together. That would be amazing if they did that.
It was sort of irresistible. That was.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bad story. Yeah, no, it didn't.
Just simply a bad story.
Yeah. But obviously, Matt Smith is my favourite Doctor. Apart from Tom and John, those three are my favourite Doctors. Yeah.
Well, I would say for me, it's still Baker and Tennant.
Oh, Baker and Tennant. Oh, okay. I didn't like Tennant because he kept gurning and shouting, and for no reason.
Yeah, but the problem with Smith, and it got really irritating, was the Impossible Girl, the girl who waited, Souffle Girl.
Girl.
Well, no,
just girls everywhere.
The last
Moffatisms.
Yeah. I said I like Smith. I like the way he portrayed the Doctor, an old man and young body, which is absolutely fantastic. Right?
The Power is probably one of my favorites of the new.
So good. 11th Hour. I've watched it 5 times already now. It's so good.
11th Hour, The Family of Blood, Girl in the Fireplace.
I like that one too. Yeah. Girl in the Fireplace. Very sad at the ending. Girl in the Fireplace.
Not what you expect from Who, but it really works.
It's very good. I mean, it's a David Tennant obviously brought in a lot of people in England, but it was Matt Smith that brought in America, more or less. So
no. I mean,
these Americans, they should know. Yeah.
I would say, I mean, Eccleston. Now, I was looking forward to Eccleston when he came on. I mean, because I already was familiar with Who. It wasn't something new for me. I think Tennant really brought a lot of energy. It caught on because I think that's when you started to see the merchandising appearing over here.
Right.
Now, I will say, and I probably said it before, one of my kids in class dressed up as Smith's doctor for Halloween.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing too is there were 2 girls that were in my 8th grade class my last year. This would have been 4 or 5 years ago, that loved Doctor Who. When I saw them last year, I asked them what they thought of Jodie. They said they stopped watching.
What a surprise. I saw 2 grown men dressed as Jodie at a convention once.
That's pretty bad.
I was laughing my head off, and I don't think they saw me laughing, but I just thought they looked ridiculous. They really did look ridiculous. Yeah. But that's when Dom was there, actually, Dan. Dom, he
gets about Dominic Martin.
He was there. Yeah, I took a picture with Dom, him and his friends. Yeah,
lovely fella.
Interesting. So
I'm just eating a protein bar.
Are you? Get your protein in, mate.
It's only 2:30 here. 2:30 in the afternoon. I just came from lunch.
Today was a lovely day. The sun was out.
Won't subject your audience to my munching my way through this. Oaty goodness.
Yeah. So what's the plan, Dan? With the background there, you got your shelves up now. Is it going to be Is it going to be a poster? Is it going to be like a couple of Doctor Who's, a bit of Star Trek on the shelf?
All sorts. There'll be all sorts. I promise you. Yeah, I've had. It's all will reveal itself. Hopefully, in the next fortnight, it'll all be sorted.
Okay. Excellent.
Fortnight is 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The return of Type 40 Live. Hopefully, it'll all be sorted out before the big show comes back.
My friend.
That was okay. I thought that was mine.
That was mine too.
Okay. No, it wasn't mine. I thought I heard the ding. I thought it was mine.
Sorry. You were saying, Dan? Sorry, Rose. What? Rose?
Rosie's going to be back. My darling. She'll be on display somewhere. I can.
Right. I thought you was going to say Billie Piper was going to be back, but obviously not. You never know. She might be. You never know. Because I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that they were going to bring back Pacaldi and Matt for the 60th. I heard that rumor.
Yeah,
going
if
round.
if I was a betting man, I'd say they'll both be there.
Yeah,
heard,
you reckon? Mm.
I've heard we have every reason to be optimistic. Let's say
because they lied to us, didn't they? They lied to us. Catherine Tate lied on what is it, the One Show, said that she'd know anything about it, but she did. David Tennant lied, and he did. And even Matt Smith is a little stum about everything, and I know he knows something. So there you go. So it's going to be interesting.
He'll be in the loop. I can guarantee.
Yeah. I just who would you like to see come back in that then, apart from the Doctors? Who would you like to see? A companion or?
I gotta say, I'm not looking forward to what they're going to do to Ace and Tegan.
Oh, I don't even want to watch the Jodie stuff. I don't care about it. So I'm talking about the 60th.
I've almost forgotten that centenary episode is even happening.
I don't care. I'm not going. As I said, I'll watch YouTube when she changes because I know a lot of people are going to put it on YouTube, or I'll maybe watch the Sky, the ending, the speed to the ending when she changes. When she changes, I'll have like a bottle of some alcohol in my hand and go yes, and then just drink to it. Was that?
Plenty of people having parties that night.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to the actress.
No, go for it.
She got a raw deal, an incredibly raw deal, and
but she's also partially to blame because again, remember she said she never saw an episode.
Yeah, you're right there too. Yeah, absolutely right. This way of thinking, way of making TV shows and way of peeing off the fan base is not good. But Hollywood is slow in catching up anyway. Somebody said once, I can't remember what live stream. Hollywood would make if nobody told them anything, Hollywood would make a disco right now, a movie disco right now for the 2000s. That's how slow they are at the uptake. Do you know what I mean? So Hollywood's very slow at actually, implementing what should be done. Really, let's face it.
The thing I would have to say, going back to the question of who would you like to see come back, I just remember, and I know you hated the Five Doctor-ish, whatever the special they did for the Doctors that weren't in the 50th
reboot.
Yeah, because I know they brought a lot of the original cast back, but I don't really know what they look like since they've aged. So I mean, a lot of them I didn't recognize.
I look right. It's obvious that all of this stuff, TV and is attack on the white man for some reason, which I cannot fathom a reason why. BBC One's constantly apologizing for 12 men that played the Doctor, according to the Jodie Doctor, and it's very annoying. It just goes to prove, doesn't it? When they wanted to bring someone back, what did they do? They brought back two women from the classic era, when it could have easily been Jamie, who I can't remember the actor's name. He's still alive.
Jamie's still living.
Yeah, he's still alive. The guy plays him. Fraser Hines. Yeah, could have brought him back, or could have brought I don't know. But then again, he lives in Australia, doesn't he? The guy that was with Peter Davison, I can't remember his name. Turlough. He lives in Australia, doesn't he?
But I have heard a list of people who are back for the centenary special, and I so hope many of them are people I've always wanted to see back on the show. I just hope that they're not in the centenary special, because I think it'll be a massive steaming pile of you-know-what.
But you know what, right? They have the technology now to actually de-age people. So they could have a scene where all of them are there, right? But the way they would do it is they get someone, a body double, the same shape and size of the Doctors who were there in their prime, and then get them to do the voiceover, and then get to do the fake thing over their faces. That's probably what I'll do.
That just seems like putting Stan Lee cameos in future films using previous things.
I mean, I don't know. I think, just as a short shot, do you know what I mean, of everybody kind of giving their approval to the new Doctor. That'd be cool.
That was like when they introduced the War Doctor, where they're like in the Doctor's subconscious or whatever it is. You see the little rainbow coat of
We
did get a scene like that at the end of Day of the Doctor, if you remember. They used the body doubles. We didn't have the facial mapping then, did we?
No, they didn't. That's not what they did. Basically, they actually cut out. They literally cut out people and as you can see when you look at that shot, they're all still images. They're not people moving at all, apart from the three in the front. And it looks really bad, to tell you the truth.
It did. It
as
looked
a
like
visual
wax.
effect. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that they could easily do it. They could easily do it, barring a few. Right, you can still have Paul McGann the way he looks. He looks all right now. You know what I mean? But then again, Lord knows how many years he spent as a Doctor, stuff that we didn't see. You know, so they could bring him back normally without any deep fake or anything like that. David Tennant, obviously, Matt Smith, obviously, Peter, obviously. Do you know what I mean? It's just the rest of them they maybe need to do that. But it'd be great just to have it as one shot, you know, just to see them all there. That'd be great as a 60th. Don't you think that'd be fantastic? I think it'd be fantastic. If you're going to go down the memory lane, if you're going to go, look, there's no point in climbing a mountain if you're not going to go to the top, right? If you're going to do that, you might as well just go all the way.
I'd expect something next level, something next level for Bad Wolf with this visual effects wise. They will. They won't. They won't be doing this if they were just going to give us a remix of Day of the Doctor. They will have. They're aware of what they need to deliver with this special.
Yeah,
I hope they are. I really do.
The thing I liked about the 5 Doctors is that it respected the Doctors within the numbering, so to speak. So at the ending, right, it was the first Doctor that knew what was going on. The rest of them were clueless. I don't know if you remember the ending where he goes, you know, let him have it. You know,
I've seen that around 200 times. I know that better than I know Star Wars. I know line by line.
But as I said, they totally respected the first Doctor because he was the first Doctor, and even though it was a different actor playing him, you know, he kind of got it before the rest of them got it, you know, and that was a really.
Just hope that I don't know the actor's name, but he played him. He's playing Hartnell now as the first Doctor.
Oh, yes.
I really hope he's not in it.
Well, I don't know. I don't mind him.
What they did with him with the time that Capaldi regenerated.
Yeah, but that wasn't his fault. That was the writer's fault. They wrote it that way, and it's disgraceful. Definitely.
No, he was good. He was good in the movie they did.
Yeah, he was. It was good. But it'd be nice to see. As I said, it'd be nice to have a scene like that, and I wouldn't put it past them to do a scene like that where all of them are just kind of, you know, standing there. It might be quite cool.
That was very much Moffat's sense of humour, and I don't think I'm not as incensed by that as a lot are, but I don't think Russell would ever write anything like that. I don't think he'd ever do that to an incarnation of the
Leela still living?
Yes, she is.
Just turned 71.
Yeah,
Louise Jameson.
Wow. That's what I'm saying.
The only problem would be and again, I'm thinking American audience. You bring back a bunch of the old classic Who companions. A lot of Americans wouldn't know who they are.
Doesn't matter if the Americans don't know who they are.
I know. Like I said, I'm saying it because I've watched Who, but I mean, I'm just.
No, but look, it doesn't matter sometimes people put things in films that only a certain majority of the audience will know. Okay. But then it's word of mouth that spreads. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Spider-Man No Way Home. I was in the cinema, and then when you see that stick come down and Matt Murdock sits down, me and my friends were going, yes, it's Matt Murdock. And everybody in the cinema didn't have a clue who he was. But I bet you, right, me telling people and other people in the cinema that knew who he was, told the people that didn't know who he was, and now they're clued up. That's the key, right? If it's really good, then what they don't know, they'll get to know through the people that liked it. And so that's how you would play it, really. So if I was in charge of Doctor Who and I had the chance to do the scene where all the Doctors were there, I would do it because the British audience know who they are and the fans. If the Americans don't know, they'll definitely find out.
Amanda Ward's comment is kind of what I was saying.
It doesn't matter if they don't know.
No, those of us who are Who fans over here will know who it is.
Exactly. And you'll tell the people, they go, who are them? And you'll tell
the problem is you could bring Leela on the screen, but I haven't seen her since she was a 23-year-old girl.
Yeah, but
I don't know what she looks like as a 71-year-old.
You've never seen a picture of Louise Jameson as she is now in 2022? I'll get you one. Hold on.
She was in a little advert, wasn't she? With the
she's never been off television.
The 5 Doctor rebootish because they had aged so much since they were on the screen when I first was introduced to them, and I have not seen them in anything else.
Louise Jameson, who played Leela, has never really been off television in the UK. She's gone from hit series to hit series, lots and lots of theatre. See if I can get a nice big picture.
The only one I think of the new companions would be Rose or Billie Piper. I mean, she's been in a few things.
She looks very different now. I don't know what she's done to her face, but she looks very, very different. I was watching this show that she did for Sky that she'd produced. Have you seen it, Dan? Something Everybody Hates Something, however it is, it's called.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would not have recognized her.
That's the thing. You've probably seen her in some British shows and you didn't recognize her. That's the thing. So she's looking good for 71.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will say the one that I'm looking forward, I just found out about it. It's on BritBox over here, is John Sims' Grace.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to start watching that for the first time.
I hear that's really good. Not seen. I'm very sparing about the police shows that I watch. I'm not generally one for detective.
That's a new one, isn't it? Is that a new one?
I think so.
Yeah. Or they've done.
I heard that Peter Bocaldi is starring in Amazon special, isn't it? Was it called?
Yes, I saw there was a trailer, The Devil's Hour, something like that. He's about a serial killer.
Yeah,
looks good. He looks scary.
He looks good. In fact, there's two doctors that played serial killers, right? Him. And David Tennant. Yeah.
I heartily recommend if anybody hasn't seen it.
A serial killer in.
Yes.
He played Des in the Dennis Nielsen miniseries last year. It was brilliant. He
good.
He disappeared into the role. Incredible stuff.
What is it called again?
Des. DES.
Okay.
Starring David Tennant. It's probably available streaming
I'll
somewhere.
have to look into that.
But it just goes to show that David Tennant is a very talented actor. I loved him in Jessica Jones. I thought he was brilliant as the Purple Man, as they call him in the comics. They don't call him Purple Man in the show. But Kilgrave. And also he was good in Fright Night, the remake of Fright Night.
I thought he was good in that as well. People hated that film. I loved it. Thought it was a lot of fun.
So he's a really good actor. Same thing with Matt Smith. That's why Matt Smith is getting offered roles as well, because he's a good actor. He's proved himself beyond Doctor Who. You know, I mean, most doctors can't do that. You know, but they can, I guess. A different world, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I like them. I like them. Apart from a couple of doctors, I don't really like. I don't really like. As you know, I don't really like Sylvester McCoy. No, I'm not a Sylvester fan.
You don't like
at all. You don't like him?
Great many people don't like Sylvester. He was up until Jodie Whittaker. He was easily the least popular.
Do you know what
would that be because of the stories he was given?
No, look, it's not because of that, right? Yeah, you're right, Dan. Well, I remember I stopped watching Doctor Who because of him, because I thought he was absolutely ridiculous as the Doctor, and you know, and I stopped. And I remember somebody said to me, "Oh, you should watch the later seasons because he's a really dark Doctor and stuff like that." But I just couldn't get past the idea that that guy from Vision On was the Doctor. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't get past that wall. But I remember you encouraged me to see the Dan. You encouraged me to see the was that Dalek one with Ace?
Remembrance of the Dalek.
Remembrance of the Dalek. I watched that. It was okay, but he was still great in as the Doctor for me. So, but anyway, that's just my thoughts on him. I'm sure he's a nice fella. I mean, no disrespect to him or anything like that. I just thought his Doctor wasn't very interesting personally.
By the time he finished playing the part, he'd found his feet. And the only reason it took as long as it did for him to really find the character was due to everything that was going on in the production of the show. It was nothing that it wasn't. Nobody was working harder than he was to make that show work, and it was Andrew Cartmel, the script editor, to a certain extent. And so some of the choice. Bear in mind that Sylvester McCoy, when he was cast, they cast him something like the 1st of February. He was in the studio. He was in the studio doing the show, actually recording, not rehearsing, recording 3 weeks later with the script that had been completely repurposed. You know, they really did. And this isn't making excuses for him, because, you know, everybody knows that the first season, most of it is pretty awful. But it was sort of kit bashed together from lots of different things, scripts that were either written for Colin Baker or scripts that were written for other things and sort of retooled to be Doctor Who stories. So it really was cathartic for everybody involved to get those 14 episodes of that show on that following autumn. They really had to pull out all the stops to just film. I would say they just filmed anything. But yeah, it's very clear when you watch it now that they had no idea where the show was going tonally. And it can make for how can I put this? Time's been kind to the early McCoy stuff, kinder than you'd think. But it was. I mean, it was a seat of your pants time to be a Doctor Who fan because it was clear that it was struggling. It was clear that nobody really knew what they were doing. But from the following season, from the Dalek one was kind of when the McCoy era starts properly, really.
I'll tell you what, guys. If you had to, this is a good fun game. If you had to pick your Doctors from the ones you like to, if you had to do a countdown of what Doctor was number one, how would you rate them all? You don't have to tell me, but I would be interested
to see. Which one is the favorite for me?
Yeah, so Baker. Out of all of them, I know you think Baker is, but how would you rate them in numbers on what you thought was a good Doctor? So you got Hartnell. Yeah, you got what's his name? Oh God!
Well, I would say Baker, Tennant, Troughton, Petrie.
Troughton the third.
Yeah.
You put Troughton third. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. It's very difficult. Davidson. All right, I like Davidson.
Did I say Petrie already?
Peter who? Capaldi?
Petrie. John Petrie.
Who's John?
John Pertwee.
Oh, Pertwee. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say I have not seen much of Hartnell's. I mean,
I've seen a bit. Yeah.
So
they're difficult to watch. I don't know.
And I rewatched Colin Baker's stuff for the first time in probably 30 years, about a year or two ago, and it's not as bad as I remembered it. But it still wouldn't be up there. I mean, you got him with Troughton doing. That was a horrible.
That was a horrible episode. Yeah, as far as I know, Dan likes it. I thought it was a terrible episode.
I begrudge it. I'm very fond of it. Whether I like it or not, I only really like episode 1 on the space station when they get to Spain. Apart from the scenery and the fact that Perry's in a really hot bikini top.
I do remember that as a kid.
Yeah. Do you know what? Right, the scenes between Troughton and what's his name, Jamie, they were gold in that episode. But then they spoilt it with this crappy storyline and the stupid. It just got worse. The episode just got worse, and it's a shame that they didn't, look at that properly. And also today now they can color his hair, make it black, can't they? With the special effects they've got today, aren't they? Because he refused to wear a wig? Or something like, or refused to colour his hair.
I think he refused to dye his hair that time.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I mean, God, it's one of those stories I've probably heard it 100 times and just forgotten. Somebody will tell me again, and I'll forget again. So if anybody watching the live chat can remember why Troughton didn't dye his hair, he did dye it for the 5 Doctors. He did dye it for that one.
Yeah, he's really good in the 5 Doctors. As far as
he's always exemplary, whatever he's doing. In any role, but particularly as the Doctor, he slips back into it so easily. Oh, yeah. Very nice.
I have the whole collection. I don't know. What season was it?
Season 22.
Oh, okay. So that'd be under this one then.
I can go in the last 3. The worst Doctors, in my opinion, right at the bottom is obviously Jodie Whittaker. I never call Jodie Whittaker. I just call her Jodie, the Doctor. The second worst, and I'm sorry, Sylvester, is Sylvester McCoy. The third has got to be Colin Baker, because Colin Baker even though I thought he was okay towards the ending, he just got the worst rubbish, didn't he? And the worst suit ever, didn't he? Let's face it, it was just,
I think everybody agrees the costume's absolutely awful. Yeah, it's not as bad as Whittaker's, but it's pretty bad.
So Whittaker's costume's worse.
Oh
yeah. Children's presenter costume. That's what she got.
At least if you watch the Colin Baker era, and I used to have to do this for a while because when I was a child, we got the two VCRs, but upstairs in my bedroom, I only had a black and white TV.
My TV,
So I watched Colin Baker stuff also over and over again. But if I was watching it in my bedroom, I had to watch it in black and white. Colin Baker's costume is a lot better in black and white.
Yeah, I mean, there were some good episodes with him in it, but I didn't mind the first one. The first episode, everybody hated that one with the twins.
Where he tried to strangle
I like
Carrie.
it too, but it's very hard. I find it next to impossible to pick my favourite doctors, my best doctors. I certainly never feel comfortable sort of ranking them from the bottom up. I think, if I was from the top, I mean, my doctor, the one I grew up with, very much I feel ownership of is the Davison one. But I think that Tom Baker is clearly the best actor who's ever played.
Well, he's the most iconic. It's like James Bond. Everybody, Roger Moore was, the one that everybody remembers, even though Sean Connery had started it off. And Sean Connery is the man. But second place is always going to be Roger Moore. Roger Moore was was the Doctor Who for a huge generation. And he spent more time being James Bond. Same thing with Baker. Baker spent 7 years being the Doctor? Was it 7?
7 years, yeah.
7 years being the Doctor. And he was pretty amazing at it. You can tell he was getting tired.
Yeah, he explored every aspect of that character. Yeah. As we said on Curl Power, the episode we did for his birthday earlier in the year. Yeah. He explored every aspect of that character, the length of time he was there, the amount of people that wrote for him. Yeah. But I think really, even if it had just stayed for those first 3 seasons, he's still dynamite.
He is, and I love when he took over the very first episode that he played. What is it? I think it was the giant robot.
Yeah.
I love the way he basically what's that black and white.
Yeah, I actually, you make a good point with that. It doesn't hurt the eyes as bad in black and white.
It was what this was, and it's the same with Whittaker to a certain extent. As a designer, I've been a character designer. That's the kind of thing I do, and if I haven't done any costume design per se, but obviously when you are designing characters, you decide what they wear. And speaking as a designer, Colin's outfit, I get the impression that something went wrong at a fundamental. Well, I know exactly what went wrong with that. It went wrong at a fundamental level. They went off down that alley, down that blind alley, and thought about color when they probably should have thought about texture instead. To create the effect that they wanted to, they should have gone for texture. With Whittaker's costume, that is simply a sketch. That should have been a first pass, a general idea. This is the kind of thing we would like. Take this ethos and turn it from a fancy dress costume into clothes that somebody would actually wear. The Whittaker outfit needed 2 or 3 passes. I mean, I've actually had several ideas about how you could quite easily revise that, and I was going to do an alternative 13th Doctor sort of comic book, a 4-page comic with the outfit that I'd have put her in, but that then the era started, and the character switched me off entirely. I lost any impetus to ever work on anything to do with that character. So I never did it.
I think the costume was a statement. A diversity statement, especially with the rainbow thing on her thing. So it wasn't that the costume wasn't made for Doctor Who. It was made to make a statement. The whole era was trying to make a statement about diversity and women and stuff like that. That's where they went wrong. It could have worked. As I said to everyone, this could have worked if they treated the whole aspect of a woman becoming the Doctor as a woman. Do you know what I mean? And do it right, but they didn't. They spoilt it. They thought it's better
from the moment that she crashes through the glass ceiling, literally crashes through the glass ceiling.
Well, she crashed. Oops. Yeah, that was the trailer, but the look, right. I don't want to talk about Jodie, but all I can say is that they gave her the worst scripts ever. They really did. I mean, it could have worked spectacularly. If I was in charge and I was lumbered with Jodie, who I still think is wrong for the Doctor, I would have made her grow her hair. I would have given her a costume that fitted her sexuality, which is a woman. I would have made her slightly more attractive.
Well, heck, Missy, they did well with Misty.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
Came across as a woman.
Yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't, but with the doctor, I think she really needed to, as a woman, she really needed to be, we need to express her as a woman. They dressed her like a boy, that it's obvious the statement they were trying to make. But as I said, if it wasn't for this diversity stuff and all that stuff, then maybe it might have worked. You never know; it might have worked.
What's the main appeal for you then? As an American, is it because we get told a lot in this country? I've probably asked people before. Is it the Britishness of the show?
Who?
Yeah. Is it this sort of Britishness that it's slightly left the field?
I mean, the thing that I loved, the thing that drew me in was the whole sci-fi, the idea of traveling through space and time in a box that's bigger on the inside than the outside. There's something about the stories, classic Who stories, that kept me coming back every week. And then it just seemed to explode even more once the news stories started. Okay, the first season being back after 20 years outside of the farting aliens. I mean, it was good.
Finding its feet tonally, wasn't it?
I mean, it's like finally they're giving them a budget to be able to do proper stories. And I mean, and again, I know Ian and I have talked about it. I remember the season 2 and 3 where they had to have the 2 cheap episodes where you get Love and Monsters and Fear Her, the Dr. Light episodes. But even then, I mean, you still had good stories. You had good companions. So, I mean...
And they weren't afraid to use white people, white men.
It's sci-fi. It's time travel. For me, part of it is it's British.
I think I hear a version of that from a lot of people. Obviously, I know you're a big comic book guy, like I am. And I hear a lot of that from people who read a lot of comic books and are readers generally, who just read a lot. It's the stories that grab me rather than the characters. So yeah, I can see what you mean.
It's strange. It's very strange what's happening in pop culture and our TV shows, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop soon. No. I mean, a lot more people are beginning to realize it.
I don't know if you guys have watched it. What We Do in the Shadows is coming back.
I haven't seen that, no.
Matt Berry's in it.
I must, but I haven't.
Matt Berry I first was introduced to the genius of Matt Berry through the IT Crowd. And I've watched Toast of London. I have to say that's a guilty pleasure.
He plays the same character, though, doesn't he? He plays the same character in everything he does.
Yeah, but I mean, let me see if I can find the one clip of it. Hold on.
He what is it? He replaced the other guy, didn't he, in the IT Crowd? That was his dad.
The guy from Brass Eye, whose name I can never remember. Yeah, he replaced him.
But that was so hilarious the way he killed himself. He just walked out and jumped out the window.
I haven't seen it for so long.
So funny.
I've got the box set upstairs.
Copyright strike, but that's fine.
You better be careful, Father, because you got
loose to Pennsylvania because it sounded like Transylvania. We all know that sounds cool. I infiltrated the township posing as your average American Yankee Doodle dandy, and I took over Lucky Brew's Bar and Grill. The previous owner, he mysteriously disappeared because I killed him. Drinks on the house! And I've not looked back since. I now go by the name of Daytona, Jackie Daytona. And I'll tell you something, Jackie...
Regular human bartender.
Jackie Daytona.
Yeah, he's funny though.
Oh, he is. He is.
Very funny.
I mean, I think I told you I do enjoy him in Snuffbox.
It's funny, right? Because
somebody bought me that as a birthday present a couple of years ago. It's still in its wrapping. I've never watched that.
It's funny because the IT Crowd, they had all of the actors, most of the actors went on to do something bigger than the IT Crowd. That's why when they brought it back for the last, for this celebration, when they brought it back, it was hard to get everyone back to actually do that. Was it one, Dan? Was it one episode?
I think there were two. I think it was
two. Yeah. It was hard to get them all back. Every one of the people that was in that show made it big, all of them. So it goes to show, doesn't it?
Is it Russell, the golf character?
Yeah, he's huge over here.
I don't know him outside of the IT Crowd.
Yeah, what was the show he was in, Dan, before?
The Mighty
Before this?
Boosh.
Marty Bush.
Oh,
He
okay.
was. Yeah, he was. You know, and I love his character. He just appears. He's just so weird. That character's so weird. But even the Irish guy, which I thought when I looked at the ensemble, I thought the Irish guy was going to be left,
Now I
you know,
gotta
in the
say,
sideways. But no, he's made it huge in America, isn't
he
he?
actually
Yeah.
the one film I do have of him is Run Fat Boy Run
Yeah.
with
yeah.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah. But he was also in Brides. Was it Bridesmaids? He played the Irish cop. He was in that. You know,
Yeah,
and that
Chris
was a huge
O'Dowd,
movie.
yeah, he's been in quite a few movies. Some
Yeah.
good, some not so good.
Yeah, but he's one of those actors that that you can say he's an actor and a comedian. Do you know what I mean? Because he can play dramatic parts, but he can also play the comedic parts as well. He was in a show called Girls. I don't know if you guys know this show called Girls.
That's Lena,
Yeah, he was in
Lena
that.
Dunham.
Girls.
Yes,
Oh,
Lena Dunham.
yeah. Didn't look
Yeah.
like my thing. I mean, I
No.
liked the thing that he did over here on it was on ITV2. It was him and an actor called Kevin Bishop, and they ran a radio station.
Oh, right.
What was it called? Something FM. It was when ITV2 went through a phase of making some really funny little sitcoms, say 2008. It was around the time, I think the first season of the IT Crowd had been on. So Chris O'Dowd, he was just sort of still up and coming. So we'll grab him for this. Oh, what was it? I can't remember what it was called. It was really, really good. And they only ever made one season of it.
Do you think sitcoms have died, though, guys?
Yes.
You reckon?
Dead as a doornail.
I mean, the only, like I said, the only news show that I'm watching is What We Do in the Shadows. I don't think that's a sitcom. I mean, it's a comedy, but it's not, not with a laugh track or anything.
Comedy itself isn't dead, but it's on life support. Sitcoms are.
I mean, I think I told you I love Black Books.
Yes, we've spoken about Black Books before because I recently gave that another go. I've got those on DVD too, and I still couldn't get into it. Some reason I just couldn't seem to find the connect with the sense of humor. I don't know what it was, but I might give it another pass.
Well, Simon Pegg's in that one too, in one of the episodes.
Favorite actors, a lot of my favorite actors are in it, and it just seems to just go straight past me. I don't know why.
Well, but it's like it's probably the same for you then. I mean, as I told Ian, there's some British shows I can get hooked on the first episode. There's others, and I'd mentioned Horses and Fools. I'm still trying to get into.
Yeah, Fools and Horses is.
Fools and Horses.
I'd say only Fools and Horses is probably the biggest sitcom in British history. It's either that or a show called Dad's Army. Set during the second
Dad's Army. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
It could be the
so
biggest.
It'd be bigger than Keeping Up Appearances.
Much bigger.
Or no, I'm sorry. Are You Being Served?
Much bigger. Yeah.
Really?
Dad's Army came from the same writing stable as Are You Being Served. It wasn't the exact same team. There was let me get this right. Yeah, so it's Jimmy Perry and David Croft, two sitcom writers, and they created Dad's Army in 1968, and it's set during the Second World War, and it's about when the Second World War was raging, and all the young men went off to fight abroad in mainland Europe mostly. Back here, because there was an imminent threat of invasion from German paratroopers, so because the young men were abroad to guard our coastline, what they did is they created small platoons of middle-aged to literally old men in their 70s and allegedly a couple of them into their 80s, to get out there and into action, into a form of active service. People who were butchers during the day or postmen, and they would form these small platoons. It was a real thing. That's what Dad's Army is about, and that was a success. But one of the writers,
I was familiar with it. I just hadn't started it.
One of the writers of
Hartnell in that too.
Was who? Sorry,
Hartnell.
No, but a bloke who looks a bit like him was. But one of the writers of that, Dad's Army, was this huge success. But one of the writers created, working with somebody else, with another writer, created Are You Being Served? So as I think about 4 years later. So they'd got this, but they were produced by generally the same team, just a different co-writer. And I'd say Are You Being Served is slightly more of a farce. Dad's Army's got a bit more substance to it, but they've both got that sort of, everybody's got a catchphrase. There's certain things that are going to happen. There's in-jokes that develop over time. So it was, and that sort of, that led to a stable of shows. So when Dad's Army finished, I think they started another thing, also set during the war, and then there was another one set in a holiday camp. And after Are You Being Served finished, or around the same time it finished, the same team who created Are You Being Served created another sitcom called The Lower Low, which is also set during the war, and that's also
yeah, that's the one. I was going to mispronounce it.
Now, 5 shows that are really closely linked. They've all got the same one writer and different writers on working in sort of
we
tandem.
had that over here in the 70s, 60s, and 70s with Petticoat Junction, Green Acres, the Beverly Hillbillies, because they were all kind of same era.
What's Green Acres?
Basically, a lawyer from New York moves to the country and has a farm.
Fish out of water. It's never not funny.
Oh, there was another show that Channel 4 used to show in the mornings when Channel 4 used to show sitcoms in the mornings. And it was, I can't remember what it was called, but it was about this lawyer that came from New York and he went to this small town and he basically used a bowling alley as his office. Is that what it's called?
It's Ed. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like that? I thought it was quite good.
What was it called? What's that called again? Ed.
The guy that played the Yellow Flash in the first season of The Flash, Tom Cavanaugh, is in it. He's the lawyer that comes home to find out his wife's in bed with the postman, and he moves back to Ohio, his hometown, to go after the girl he wished he had.
Yes. I remember that. I really liked that show. I really liked it.
I never heard of this.
Yeah, I never saw the ending, though.
Well, but it was one of those things. Once will they not? And when they finally did, it kind of went downhill after that.
But Channel 4 didn't show. They stopped showing it in the mornings. So, and also another show I really liked was
I've never heard of this. I've got it up on screen now, and I'm just looking. Never heard of this ever. It looks great though.
There was another sitcom which was quite good, and it was The Big Guy that he does that Come On Down show in America.
Oh, The Price is Right.
The Price is Right.
Oh, Bob Barker.
No, the other one before him. He's kind of big.
Drew Carey.
The Drew Carey show I used to like.
Oh, okay.
Do you used to watch that one?
No.
Drew Carey? I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really fun. I used to like watching that. They used to show it kind of like 10 o'clock in the night. I think on Channel 4 used to be quite good. I used to like it.
Show you a clip of this. This is not Ed himself, but this is one of the characters in it.
Who's
Just
that?
to kind of give you a little bit of a flavor of it.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Burton. Please begin my examination.
Looks like my granddad.
Well,
So uncanny. He even used to wear those vests.
what seems to be troubling you today, Dr. Jerome? Call me Larry.
Your first name's Walter.
Yes, but I'm a fictional patient. I'm experiencing dizziness, nausea, severe headaches, and a general feeling of malaise.
Okay, well, those symptoms describe quite a few ailments. One, it could be indicative of
I want a full examination, doctor.
Who's that? That actor.
You mean like touch you?
I am your patient. You are my doctor.
Recognize
Put
his
your
voice.
hands upon me and make me well.
Okay, I really didn't know if I were taking this.
Ow! What? That hurt.
I barely had my fingers on.
I'm pretending that my lymph nodes are tender to the touch.
Oh, wait, I get it. Tender lymph nodes. Okay, let me ask you something, Larry. Are they also swollen?
Do they look swollen?
Well, no, I can see they're not swollen in real life.
Then trust your instincts. A doctor must always trust his instincts.
I trust my instincts, but we were just pretending that your lymph nodes are tender. Cough. How long have you had the cough?
That was a real cough. What is your diagnosis?
Anyway, that's Ed.
Yeah, I prefer Ed though. I actually
Yeah,
prefer
I'm
Ed.
going to have to
They
track
do
down Ed.
have
That
it. They
sounds
do
good.
have it on YouTube, but the problem
Mm.
is because there's a lot of pop music of the '90s in it.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't have that. They have
All
that
right.
part muted,
Mm.
but it's never been on. It's never been released on DVD over here.
Yeah, I said Channel 4 used to show it. They also Channel 4 used to show Frasier in the mornings. I don't know if you remember
yeah.
that, Dan, as
Yeah,
well.
they did. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Frasier.
I used to get up especially to see episodes of Frasier. The
I've
ones
only
that I
ever seen the
missed.
first 3 seasons of
Have
Frasier.
you?
It was on from, yeah, I've never seen it all, but I know those first 3 seasons inside out. The only ones.
Do you know what? The last episode of Frasier really made me feel sad. It really did, because everybody got what they wanted apart from him. You know, Roz got the station. She was promoted. His brother got married to Daphne. He always wanted Daphne. His father met the woman of his dreams, and they were going to move out the house. And there was nothing left for Frasier. And the only thing that was left for him is a job in, I think it was New York or Chicago. He had to go from Seattle. And at the end, he got on the plane, didn't he? And he was just on his own. And this woman came, sat next to him, and he started talking to him. And that's how it ended. And I was like really sad. I was like, after all those seasons,
Yeah.
you know, all that love and all that hate and all that, thing, this is what they do to the character? Do you know what I mean? I was like,
I
oh,
don't
about
think I've
to do
seen
it again.
since the finale.
have you not?
I
Sorry,
haven't seen it. I mean, I haven't seen that finale since the
All right.
finale.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
think
Dan.
they're talking about a brand new season of Frasier, like an event season of 10 episodes.
No, you can't do that.
No, they'll
I mean,
spoil
the
it.
dad is gone.
Yeah. Yes, he has. Yeah, yeah.
The dog's
And so-
definitely gone.
I was about to say that. The dog's gone as well.
So,
It was a great show. There was not one episode that didn't make me laugh. That's how good the show was. Every episode made me laugh out loud. And I missed that kind of entertainment on TV, I really do.
Well, that
And
was
it's a
like
shame.
a perfect hybrid, I felt, between British comedy and American comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was created by a guy called David Angel, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
I know that it had that connective tissue to Cheers, which I never saw Cheers, never saw a single one. I watched the pilot about 2 years ago and I loved it. And I meant to watch the rest and other things came on. But having seen that episode of Cheers, it's very, very different to Frasier. Frasier seems like it's connected to British comedy.
Yeah.
It's that perfect hybrid of what I feel is the strength of British comedy and what a strength of American comedy.
Cheers is kind of hard to explain. I mean, I grew up watching Cheers.
The pilot was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I'll probably buy it at some point.
But do you know what? Frasier's got in common with England? That's why we connect with it so much. It's the pompous thing.
Exactly.
The two brothers were pompous, weren't they? And very much a class system thing. And in England, it's very much like that, isn't it? So that's how we can understand what Frasier's doing. They talk about champagne. They talk about, getting to the best hotel, getting to the best club and all that stuff. All that stuff used to make me laugh out loud.
The dynamic to that show is quite similar. If you think about that, if you forget about all the scenery and how beautiful Seattle and his flat, how wonderful and sumptuous it looks with his grand piano, all it really is, it's two brothers and an old man. It's Fools and Horses set in Seattle. It's the same kind of appeal. And Kelsey Grammer was just, there's a reason why he'll always, he's a great actor. He is. I've seen him brilliant in all sorts of things. But as Frasier.
You're actually absolutely right, Dan. It is definitely Only Fools and Horses. But when Only Fools and Horses dealt with the lower class, the working class, and Frasier dealt with the upper class, the upper people with money and stuff like that. But as you said, the dynamic between Rodney,
it's exactly the same.
What's his name, and Granddad.
It's flipped, but it's the same.
Yeah. But and Frasier was the same thing, wasn't it? It's Frasier, his brother, and the father, and it's the same thing with Only Fools. If you ever get a chance to watch Only Fools, it is a bit of a slog. The first season wasn't as funny, but as it goes on,
like
it just.
I've been still trying to get into it.
By season 3. You'll get it. I know. Think, season 3, I gotta watch it. But the seasons are 6 episodes. It's something just happens. I don't know what it was. I think it was just perfect synergy between the writer and the actors.
As I said, I was telling Dan when you were away. I mean, and I said it to you before you. I mean, there's shows I get hooked on the first episode. IT Crowd, Heidi High,
Heidi High,
all of those. But then there's others. It just requires work.
You mentioned keeping up appearances. Do you like that as
Yeah.
well?
I have the
Yeah.
box set.
I
Oh,
did.
Oh, no,
I
I have. I'm sorry. I only mentioned keeping up appearances because that's always on over here. But no, I bought the box set for Are You Being Served?
I had it for Christmas last year. Just gone.
Did you? I love keeping up appearances. I think it's so ludicrous that you just laugh at every scene.
I haven't
It's
seen
so
that in a
funny.
long time.
It
I'll
is very
probably buy it
funny.
at some point though.
Yeah, she's incredibly funny, and the actress that actually plays
Still alive
Ice
as
and-
well. Patricia
Yeah,
Routledge.
she's
into the
amazing.
90s.
Yeah, she's amazing in the show, and it's the same thing with you know, as I said, all these shows. Oh
Now,
yeah, I used to watch
I've
that.
never seen that, and people tell me that I would
It's okay.
love it. In fact, stay there. I know you haven't got.
Blackadder, yeah.
Blackadder's just perfection. I
And
know you
then-
haven't got long left, but I want to go and
Fawlty
grab
Tales.
something to show you guys. Hold
Yeah,
on a
do.
second.
Do you ever used to watch the Thin Blue Line? Father?
You know, I tried.
It's really. I thought it was really funny. Ben Elton's sitcom. I thought it was very, very funny. I think that one worked really well, but it's a
everybody
shame.
talks about it. I mean, the one that I was getting into, they only have the first season over here. It's not the 9 o'clock news.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a sketch show though. That's
I know,
not
but
a sitcom.
No, there's still fun things.
Yeah, it's
in
good.
it.
It's good. It's good. I mean, there's the Fast Show, which is really hard to grasp as an American. If you watch that, you'll find it hard to grasp. But once you grasp it, you just go with it, and it's just incredibly funny.
Mhm.
The Fast Show is pretty cool. I mean, that's when Britain was making comedies that was very, very original. If you watch the Fast Show, there's nothing like the Fast Show. Basically,
I don't think
it's
there's any
just
British
really
comedies I'm really into right now.
No, there
new Britcoms. I don't think there's really.
It's because we're not
Dramas,
making them, mate. We've stopped making them. We don't. Sitcoms here in this country are dead. They
Yeah,
are. But people have completely lost their sense of humour. So they're still making them and putting them on, but they're all really staid and just
I
not
will
funny.
say, I mean, the dramas are still pretty good.
That was okay. I thought it was dull though.
I enjoyed
thought-
it.
Third version of May Gray, the
I know.
British
Yeah.
TV history. Yeah,
But I mean, he's such a talented actor, and he was just bland all the way through it. I was like, oh, for God's sake.
I
could have gone
preferred
something
Michael
else.
Gambon's
Yeah, Mark
May
Gambon
Grays.
was good.
Yeah, he was
yeah.
wonderful. But if you haven't
What do
seen
you got,
this,
Dan?
Father, I recommend To the Manor Born as a British
No,
Yeah.
I have
sitcom.
not. I'll look that up.
That's really good.
It's
I did-
3 seasons and a special, and it's wonderful.
I caught up with it when it got reshown. I didn't like it when it was first released. When it was first screened. I thought it was pompous rubbish. But then as the years went on, as they kept repeating it, and I actually thought it's such a brilliantly
Beautifully written.
written sitcom.
If you find Hyacinth Bouquet funny, you'll definitely
Yeah.
like
I will say,
Audrey.
the one that I did enjoy, and I watched it on BritBox, was the John Cleese comedy where he marries the woman with like the 40-year-old son that's divorced and has
Is
the
this
puppet.
Is this
Into the
something
Sunset,
about
I think.
Sunshine? Sunset.
Yeah,
I've
Into the
never seen
Sunset.
that.
No,
Is it okay? Alison Steadman's in it, isn't she?
I don't know.
I haven't
so.
seen it. I do like what is it? The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin, the original.
Yes, the
Well, that
original
was
one.
really
the one with
good.
Martin Clunes in isn't very good, but the
No,
original's
it's not.
brilliant.
But yeah, it's really good. If you ever get a chance, and that's another weird sitcom that worked really well for some reason. You know, it's so weird, that one. Rising Damp is another classic sitcom.
I'm halfway through Rising Damp at the moment.
Rising
yeah.
Damp, yeah, brilliant stuff. ITV, Rising Damp,
Yes, one of the only good ITV sitcoms, really is. Yeah.
and Porridge. If you get a chance to watch
Yeah,
Porridge,
I've heard of Porridge.
Porridge is absolutely brilliant. So fantastically written.
Ronnie Graham is in that, isn't he?
Ronnie Barker. Ronnie Barker.
Parker.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
he's
got the first
brilliant.
name right.
Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant in that. He's a great actor as well, Ronnie Barker. It's a shame that he didn't move forward.
What would you
acting-wise.
guys, as my mates, what do you think I should put on the shelves behind me? What would look good?
I reckon you should put a Doctor Who poster right there where that space is right there. Just anything really.
There,
Just put
in the
anything that's
space?
cool. Yeah, that space there on your right, which is
Well,
probably your left.
Show off DVDs,
Yeah.
Yeah,
figurines.
I've got a few things I'm going to put up. I've got several posters, and because I was going to put up a plasma screen there.
That'd be cool.
You're going like
So-
the Jeremy route then.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jeremy. Yes,
Oh, he's got consoles and stuff everywhere. So I'm thinking of putting a screen up there and hooking up just graphics and stuff. And I'm not sure. I might have more shelving into. I don't know. But yeah, the display behind me, it's going to be a mixture of books and comics. And various
also,
trinkets.
you need to try and get some lights in between the shelves and stuff to actually make it pop behind you.
Brilliant idea. Yeah.
So,
I'll be
well,
looking
I
at
gotta
people
start
sending
wrapping
crap.
up because
All right,
I have an
matey.
appointment
Okay.
coming in about 10. So,
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Dan, anything to plug with Facebook?
Yes. Well, yeah, the space book. Yes, please. If you wonder who is this guy with the silly sticky up hair? What's he talking about?
You've been on here
You think
before. I got your link. The links are in the chat.
Yeah,
for the
brilliant.
description.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, but you'd kind of like to hear some more of this nonsense, yeah, go over to the Spacebook channel. If you love Doctor Who, you're in luck. There's loads of Doctor Who over there and lots more other things to come. Go check it out. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
I'll be representing the
love to.
Spacebook out in Texas
Yes.
for the meetup.
I'm looking forward to finally
I'll be
meeting Ian in the
If I
flesh.
can find a T-shirt that has Spacebook on it, I will
I'll get you
definitely
one.
walk in with it.
I'll
Excellent.
get you one. That's
Sounds
next
good.
month as well. It's that
Yeah,
soon.
next month. 4 weeks. 4
Yeah.
weeks time. 4 weeks.
Less
time.
than 4 weeks.
Yeah, less than 4 weeks now. Yeah. So
You can-
I'll
you'll
represent.
You'll have to Skype in to Type 40 Live on the Thursday if you're away.
I'll try.
We'll figure something out.
I'll video some stuff on my phone. I'll video people that I know that's been on YouTube
Brilliant.
and stuff. That'd be quite cool. Yeah. So
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so jealous.
Okay, well, I'm hitting the end button because I
All right.
got to get
Bye,
run. So again, thank
folks.
you, everybody, and we'll